Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing alright. So essentially I have on my Twitch channel at the moment, I have it where essentially if you could save up 5,000 points worth, I will do a VOD review of your Mercy. Now normally this will be captured from like the stream highlights, however to test it out and to kind of give you guys a taste of like what it is, and also if you guys want your own VOD reviews in the future, then this is kind of the format I'll be doing it in. It'll all be like in one take basically. You guys will just send me the code over. Make sure it's predominantly like Mercy gameplay because I can't really speak very much for other supports. And make sure you like tell me your rank as well and what you're struggling with. So this right here is a... If I can get to them. Oh, I have to go all the way back here. So this is a silver Mercy player, and they basically said to me that they were struggling with keeping up with their like targeted target, which they said in this case was the soldier. So I'm just gonna kind of like go through, give like some general like tips and tricks, and kind of like looking to see kind of how they can improve and how they keep up. So I'm just gonna start the VOD off right now. This was a silver match, they said. Oh gosh, that's really loud. Hold on, let me turn it down a little bit. But I'm gonna be going through like start in, kind of looking at the plays as they go ahead, and just trying to help out as much as I can. Let me just quickly skip forward a little bit. Okay, nice. So I like how we're taking the top here. Obviously, if you just quickly look at your team comp, as you can see, this is quite a good Mercy team comp. Your main kind of damage boost target here is your soldier, who's obviously the person you're going to put your main blue beam on. But be sure if your Symmetra has like a really high charged beam and she's with people, you go and damage boost her. Obviously you have Kiriko, who's great to damage boost for headshots, and obviously Sigma does quite a high amount of damage as well. So you have a really good like Mercy team comp for damage boosting here. So obviously main blue beam is your soldier, which you're doing really, really well here. I like how like where you're positioning, so it's like you're not peeking any of this, which is really nice. This was very risky. I will not lie. I like how you like tried to get away though. However, as soon as your GA came back on the line, I would look to kind of like try and GA away. And also your soldier is on full health here, so try and like push that damage boost. I know you're probably panicking because of the Genji, but yeah. But I like how you like pushing yourself like really far away. Your like positioning away from your soldier is really good. Like I like how you're using that max beam like really well here. You're doing really well with that. And then once again, you're doing really well, kind of just staying on that high ground, just not peeking down below. And then once again, you kind of just like following him down. You do get a little bit stuck, but it's okay because the team fights won, and it's all good. So overall, like a very strong team fight from you. Quite a bit of a risky prize, but I kind of appreciate it, so it's all right. I don't like this. Never, ever, ever position yourself so you're near like an entrance way. Like when you were coming up here, you should be stood kind of like around here, or like around the back here. Essentially anywhere that's out of LOS of this window thing here. You've got this one here, which I believe they can come out of. Yeah, they can come like through here, although not many people come through here. And then normally as well it's main, and you're fine for main at the moment, but it's just you're stood very like, imagine if like someone just comes through there, you were like, you know, you're dead basically, just to be nice. Oh, I've just got it wrong, but yeah. So I like how you like stay with your soldier here. Just while you are, you're not really looking at your team. Like for example, it helps if I can control this thing. Like obviously they're fine at the moment. Be sure to kind of like still be checking your surroundings. Be sure you're still like being aware. So obviously you are still with your soldier. You're doing the perfectly right thing here, but just kind of like flick to the side a little bit. Flick, you know, you can still like flick like this, just to check. But yeah, anyways, I'll carry on.
Maintaining damage boost.
As you can see, there's nobody coming there, so you're alright to kind of like stand as you are now. Because obviously you know nobody's coming. I like how you're staying like with your soldier here, and you have like a good LOS of your team right now. So overall your position is really, really good. And you're going in with your soldier here, which I like. Nice good use of damage boost, and... My only issue here is that your full LOS is literally just on this soldier. Like that, all your attention's on him, right? But bearing in mind, you should also kind of be looking at the point a little bit here as well. Not like because you would like maybe like you might need to go and help your Kiriko, but normally your Kiriko can like help the other two. But it's just kind of like that little like looking round-ish and like being aware. But I love your damage boost use. I think it's really, really good. This is it again where it's like you're not paying attention to the team, you're just like very much staying. And then I think you make a bad GA here. I think you could have maybe saved your Kiriko. And this is because you can easily just stand up here and still pocket your soldier, but also you can like drop down. Even you can even play on this bridge if you wanted to, like over here, and you could have helped because at the moment you've absolutely disregarded the rest of your team. Like whenever you're having like whenever you have like someone to main blue beam, it's not just it's that's not your like singular priority. That's not like I must do this and this only. It's like you should also be trying like to help your team. But anyways, we'll see how this kind of like plays out. I'll go back onto you. Your soldiers, yeah, that's right. You got it now with the blue beam. Once again, I love how you GA from cover to cover. I think like it's really, really good. Yeah, whenever you see your soldier like run away from someone, like full on just start sprinting it the other way, like do a backwards GA, do whatever, just get away. Because if your soldier's sprinting back from something, something's coming for him. Like, you know. What I would have done here is, in order, because obviously they're going to come charging after your soldier here. You know how you like super jumped upwards? You did it and it was great and it was like awesome. But what you should have maybe directional GA'd up to here instead. Or like you could have done it up to like this high ground where you were before, or like up here. Because the thing is they're going to start like charging into you and you have like the GA nerf obviously now. So you're just going to be stood here, basically not being able to do anything for like 2.5 seconds. So what I would have done is I would have GA'd up here, and then none of these guys can reach you now. Like, sure, the Mori might be able like to tickle you a little tiny bit, but it's not really going to do anything. But you're going to be fully out of the way of like the Rhine there. Because yeah, obviously they come straight onto you, you sadly die. And then obviously all the rest of your team kind of die a bit as well. Although your soldier kind of got a nice visor off, which is good.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
But overall, I think if you would have stayed on that high ground, you would have prevented your death. Maybe not everyone else's, maybe. And I love how you're like already like going to try and find your soldier. Put that blue beam on. Nice, there you go. No, I gotta admit, your blue beam use is actually really good. Because I normally have to tell a lot of people. I think when you're saying with the GAs, and I don't know whether this will come apart a little bit later on, because you are staying, like, the thing that you told me was that you struggle to like stay with your soldier. But at the moment, you're actually staying with your soldier really, really well. But I think, for example, with that backwards GA, that was really unnecessary. And I think because of the Mercy GA nerfs, you have to GA with a purpose now and not like just randomly spam it when you don't need to. Like, I think that one was a little bit more necessary. I don't think you heard the Reaper here, did you not? Or you weren't really like aware. Because what I would have done is with that Reaper being here, GA'd over to this side here, because then you can still help your team and you'll distance yourself away from the Reaper. You can even help your Sigma here if needed. But it's fine because you battle and you can't get up away from him, which is nice. You don't need to heal for that there. Instead, you should have been like helping your soldier trying to get rid of this Reaper. Sorry, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it. You focus until the Ryan started coming in for his thing, because these two are full HP. So there's no need to heal them here. You should instead like try and put your blue beam on this soldier here and damage boost him, and then once obviously the shatter and they start focusing them, then you can help them. But I see where you're coming from. And try and like push some damage boost, a lot of them high HP. There we go. I like that. I like that damage boost there onto your soldier. That was a really good pick. I like the res there. I don't think you would have been able to help him because he was like quite low anyways. You didn't need to GA there. You should have just stayed back where you were. But it's okay. Oh no, no, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. Yeah. I like how you do remember after a bit to flick onto the damage boost. It's just you need to be a little bit quicker on it. But I can't like, you know, what's it called? I can't be mad at your damage boost because you are actually damage boosting really, really well. Nice res. That's a very nice res. Just once again, like if someone's full HP and you see they're full HP, as soon as you can, just stick that blue beam on them. Tactical visor activated. Oh, I think I know what you wanted to do. You wanted to use slingshot, didn't you, over here? And it sadly cancelled, didn't it? I can see where it's coming from. I'm not even going to, like, say that was wrong or anything. She did the complete right thing and wanted to slingshot. It just sadly, I think you got caught on, like, the floor or something. But it's okay. I like how you're pushing up here. You shouldn't have GA'd into this room because this is what I like to call the death room, right? On this map, this room is always like a death room. You never ever want to be in this room unless if you're like attacking. Like in this case, you kind of like want to be like peeking here. But if you're like defending, you never ever want to be in this room because it just helps. Basically, you're not going to take unnecessary damage. What you should have done here is like not use the GA whatsoever because you didn't need to, and instead just kind of like stay back a little bit and just kind of help him out. Boardskate is doing like the running away thing. I think here I would have like done like a flick like directional GA like a little bit further back just to distance myself. But it's alright because he didn't decide to push you for whatever reason. But you're being very, and to say that you're now on a Mercy Lucio, you're being very like focused on just a soldier. Like, are you looking like, because they're attacking the point and all you're focused about is your soldier. Like, not once you're looking at the Sigma who's going to become critical in a sec. Your Symmetra's fine, to be fair, at the moment. But, like, your Sigma's getting quite hard focused by, like, 2 people at this point. 2 quite high damage people. Plus some Moira Orb. And you're very, very, like, focus beamed onto your pocket target. Which is great and all, because obviously, you know, make sure you're damage boosting them, though. There we go. And I like this blue beam, even if it's, like, a little bit critical. Healing up when it's not there. Try and flick on. You know when like the Sigma does his ult upwards, you can damage boost the lift up but not the slam down. So even if it's just like a quick like flick onto the damage boost while he lifts him up, just gets a little bit extra bit of damage boost in. That's I like how you, because it doesn't really matter when you're in battles where you are, and then obviously you GA'd away. I love this positioning where you are, but it does mean that your Sigma sadly does die, which is kind of your fault because obviously you are on a Mercy Lucio, so you have to do a lot more healing. Instead, what you should try and do is try and like jiggle peek this corner where you quickly get your beam on him, flick behind. Obviously, it'll break after like a second or 2. Come back, do the same thing, and try and like damage boost your soldier whenever he's not on. Sadly, I think the fight's lost now. You should now be like looking to get out. So it's either you do a directional GA and get out there. I'll have a look what you do now. You fly straight in, okay. And then now, yeah, now you should, instead of just like trying to escape, yeah, you did the right thing of just letting them kill you. But I don't know whether you would be able to get out, but you could have just done a directional GA off him and got out. Because at that point, it's better if you just either die and just reset or you get out. But I like how you like quickly just flew into them and tried to get yourself killed off as quick as you could. That's a really good thing to do. So obviously it's overtime for them now. And sadly, none of you guys touch, which is alright. So overall at the moment, I think you're keeping up with your pocket target really well. Your problem is you're spending too much time with the pocket target. I think is kind of the issue we're having at the moment. Where it's like you spend all your entire life like purposely just doing everything for your soldier and just pocketing your soldier, and that's all the thing that's, you know, when really you have a whole entire team. I don't think you should be on Lucio either here, but it means you're going to have to do a lot more healing with this comp. And you should really be on something else, but it's okay. So let's go. So here I am, depending on how like how much damage I guess the Ashe could do. Ashe is technically a better like damage boost target. But with your soldier going on a flank here, I think it's a lot better. Try and save your GA, like the one you just did there. I would have saved it till you got out of the room, because then you could have GA'd afterwards and kept up with him. Instead you kind of like got stuck on the doorway. And here you didn't need to GA all this far way up. You could literally walk this distance. And then just like stood, because what you want to do, like when you're with him, you either want to play on top of this elephant and around it, or you want to play like on these stairs, depending on like where the person is. Where you are right now is a very dangerous position, especially if like they were going to push up the stairs. But I like how you suddenly take that now. And I think you just need a bit more control over like your GAs and stuff like that. I like that res, because obviously everyone's pushed up. Really nice res. I like how you heal up and then go. Yeah, you go to a damage boost. That's nice. And then I like how you I love your damage boost. I think that's probably one of your like your best things is your damage boost. I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm actually like really, you know, I think it's great. Okay, so your Ramarch gets hooked in, that's fine. I like that GA though, that was a really nice GA, but you're not looking at your team. Like, look at this guy, look at this poor little man. He's gonna die, bless him. And it's all because, like, although I like the GA, you should have maybe GA'd out and then just stood here and healed instead. Because it's the same thing again, it's like your be-all and end-all is this hot old man, you know? You just need to look about a little bit more. I'd love to know like what kind of sensitivity you play on. Might be something that I like ask in the future. Yeah, you shouldn't have res though. It should have just been a full team reset, or you should have gone with your Ashe. Because unfortunately, like once you've lost that many people, it's just gonna be a team 5 reset. You know.
Medical technology is truly extraordinary.
Feeling spry. You are needed here.
I'm with ya.
Okay, so we're gonna go push in now. I like how you use the cover. Nice help healing, or something really you can do there. Just kind of back out with your team. Okay, here's what we should have done here. Once he's hooked around this corner and this hog is pushing up to you, there is no way you can res there. Instead, you should know that your team is coming back because obviously you guys, like, you know, these guys died before you guys. So you should have just quickly whipped around this corner and played like kind of back here. And like kind of jiggle peeked it because you were kind of just stood in the open like, oh my gosh, what shall I do? My pocket target's died. Really, you should be like backing off around here. And then once your Ramarcher pushes in with this ult, it's actually a great time because you might have been able to get the res off like about here-ish now. Sadly, your Ramarcher dies. I think your Brig's gonna die there as well.
To my post.
Join the objective.
Nice. Like, you're playing very, like here, you can play behind this cover here and kind of like peek it either side if you need to. Because at the moment, once again, you're stood completely in LOS. Of if they had like any kind of hit scan that was focusing you right now, you'd be dead, you know? Same with that hog as well. You could have literally like, you're like a hog hook's length. Once again, I like you like how your GA here. Here, once again, the hog's here. You should know the hog's here. So you try and like play off here. Because you could just do like a angelic descent falling like here. Or you can probably even stand on the ground here. I don't really know kind of how high it is. But you can like play off here. I'm really surprised the hog didn't go out for you. And you kind of get the idea then, but you're a bit too late. But it's alright. You need to be pushing that down. Yeah. There we go. I was about to say, you need to be pushing the damage boost a little bit quicker, but I do like your damage boost. But it's the same thing, your Ramarcher was just stood there critical. Oh, how do I get back to it? Your Ramarcher, bless him, was just stood here like critical for a second. And luckily your Brig got back, but once again, it's like, he stood there critical, bless him. You just go and help him. Like, try and pay attention when people are playing like voice lines like that, like the Ashe was there. It was like, you know, I'm hurt and stuff like that. Normally they'll be wanting healing and they'll be quite critical. I like how you went round the back there. Alright, they have a Widow main now, so you need to be careful. Not peek it. Alright, Rez. It's very, like, risky, though, because you were in the LOS of that Widow. Like, you've been in the LOS of that Widow the whole entire time, and she's just finally got you now. I don't know what your soldier's doing, like, in the enemy spawn, but, you know. I think you would have followed him, you would have died. Because he does, like, sprint faster than you now. Okay. So, obviously... yeah, he's died, sadly. So you kind of just want to stand here and damage boost your Sojourn. I like that. I like how you're still looking for the res. Just when you look for a res like that, look on your point and make sure that everyone's still going to be okay, right? Especially if it's someone that's going to come back quick. So for example, with a soldier, he's going to come back quickly because obviously he can like sprint like really, really fast, right? If it's someone that's like slow moving, like who's a good, I was going to say Orisa, but she's a bad example now. Like a Sigma, for example, right? then I'd maybe think more about going for it. But Soldier can run back really quickly, and you actually let your Armature die because of it, I think. Hold on, let me just go back a bit. I want to kind of like review that. So here, you should just be like damage boosting your Sojourn so you can get in. He goes into his Ramarcher thing. To be fair, you just kind of just walk into the wall. To be fair, you just kind of just walk in like, you know, willy-nilly. So I don't know how much you would have been able to do. I think there you should have 100% gone, because you saw the Sojourn. You saw the Sojourn was like below half health. You should have like gone to go like maybe done like a quick like directional GA to go to her, and then you can go back and go with your Soldier, or you can meet with him on point. Because it's once again it's like a be all end all. You can hear him like spamming the line, but you know you're very focus fired, very tunnel vision. Sorry, I like the little teabag. Very focus fired. I like that slingshot though. It's very good. You don't need to be playing on point here though. Like as Mercy, you don't ever really need to play off point. You should have just been playing off point or playing like round this pillar. Like especially here, you're in a very vulnerable situation. You could literally like come round the back here, and then if your Soldier wants to play off here, you just GA and kind of come and play over here a little bit more, because here's like quite safe to play. But you never ever want to be stood on the point, especially like you were like very edging this sight line. And look who's here. This person just gonna pew and then into your head, and then bam, you're dead. So you kind of just like want to play off to the sides of points. I get that you wanted to GA over, but you should have done it round the back. Try and find a safer place to travel if you can. Boost on him, he's in ult and like full HP. Like I understand you're scared of him, like, you know. But you, like at that point, there was no point in that entire team fight where you put a damage boost on. Then, whenever he's like full HP, just whack it on there. Have it as your default beam. Overall, like it's been alright. Some good things is that I do like your damage boost usage, and you really understand the concept of staying with a main blue beam target, because obviously it's something that I see a lot of like lower ranked players not really understanding, is the fact that you have to stay with a main blue, like they don't understand the concept of damage boost and staying with kind of a main blue beam target, which is what you really understand really well. The issue that you have is you are very tunnel visioned, and you're not looking about a lot. You know, you should like it's like you're constantly just like, this is okay. Yeah, it's like it's constantly like, this is my be all and end all and nobody else on this team matters, when in reality you should still be looking out for them, you know. I don't think it really matters if you don't get to him straight away, don't worry. I think your Soldier should know that obviously you have this thing. This is the thing. Yeah, there you go. You finally got it now. And now onto your damage boost beam. Nice. I like what you're playing here, but at the same time, it's like you're not looking at the point. Sorry, I'm gonna keep damage here and stuff like that. Obviously, this is hypothetical scenarios, but still, it's like, especially because with Mercy, you have this little UI on the screen that you can see, and you can see the health of your pocketed target. You don't need to stay entirely like in his vision the entire time, you know. But especially because the Moira's just gonna dive to your Sojourn, right? You should be looking, yeah. Oh. Okay. unnecessary super jump. Instead, this should have been a direct, because you kind of see that obviously the Reapers should have done directional GA, and obviously if you didn't want to help, now you should basically be trying to find another person to damage boost. So I think in your team, you should try and have like a hierarchy of who you should damage boost, depending on, obviously this is full scenario dependent and stuff like that. But in your generic team comp that you have, the best damage boost target is probably your Sojourn, but you're very adamant on pocketing your soldier, which is fair enough if they're, if they're like doing more. Then it's your Sojourn, because obviously you have a DPS, and they would be Ramarchi and then Kiriko here, right? So this super jump was unnecessary. You should have just come over here and then just stayed with your Sojourn, played out of the LOS there. You kind of like get onto that, but you should know this Reaper's still here. Like you should know this Reaper is still here. You know? And you kind of just like go for it, and then sadly you end up dying because of it. Instead, you should have come with your Sojourn, waited for her to like you know, and then if you had time, needed to res. Because it's not like you need to res every single time they die. You have to, once again, look at the scenario yourself and try and value your life over your whoever you're pocketing, basically. So here you sadly die because of that. I'm hoping your team win this. Yeah, they do. And obviously you lose your Kiriko, so you guys have no heals. But it's fine. Oh, is your soldier coming to pick you up? Oh, that's really sweet. I do that when people come to pick up. Oh, you've said. You cannot get that res off. Like, I'm sorry. I know you're looking for that res at that very moment in time. But seriously, when there's like three of them there that are at the time, there's no way you're going to get that res off. Instead, just back on. Now you can go for the res. So, like, don't... It's very bad for you to look like you're going to go for a res. And then you go for it a little bit later on, right? If you want to go for a res, make sure you have it like in the knowledge that you want to go for the res, but don't look at it, if you get me. Because if you look at it, then all the enemy team are like, she wants to res, she's gonna go res, she wants to res. You know, that's gonna be in their head. So instead, just try and like go back to your Sojourn, know where it is, and then obviously you did the right thing of waiting for it when it was safe, and then res.
Thanks,
So it's just like a little bit of. Well, it's alright. Yeah, I like how you're still knowing to use cover and stuff like that. That was not the right res for that Mercy. I love your use of cover here. This is very, very nice. And you you're keeping up with your pocket target really, really well. So I don't really know why you're saying it's an issue. Okay. I loved your positioning here, can I just say. For this entire sequence, I loved it. And I loved how you stayed, like, away. But as soon as that ult hit, and you know it wasn't gonna, like, end well, you kind of just, like, stood still and stalled. It was like, oh gosh, my pocket target's died. I don't know what I need to do. What you should have done straight away is just backed off. Gone over here, and you could just either, like, do a quick, like, GA, but then kind of, like, slingshot yourself over here to kind of help with the rest of your team, or just come straight to the point with your Ramartra. Because that split second with you kind of just stood here like, oh my gosh, what shall I do? You basically got yourself killed. But it's okay, because you're going to respawn with your soldier anyways. But it's just something worth noting, because it looked like, once again, you wanted to go for a res, but look, all 5 of them are going straight through that choke point. Like, there is no way in, you know, in life it's ever going to happen. You would know that Reaper was there. I don't know why that Reaper seems to really hate you. I would have got the Glock out at this point, I'm not gonna lie. Because it's obvious that this Reaper's gonna come for you. Hey, Glock out! No! Where's the Katrina? Where's the Katrina? No, at that point, I would have just glocked and then just done a quick backwards GA out because your Kiriko's respawning and you could easily just like play these pillars here. You could just like, so what you would have done is got your Glock out, battled him for a few seconds because your GA was on cooldown, and then just gone boop, boop, and then just back here. Because you're safe now, because your Kiriko's coming back. But it's okay. You get like a probably like full team reset now, which is better. Okay, you sadly can't do anything about that. Why aren't you helping your Sojourn? Your Sojourn's getting, like, your team is getting hard focused by this Reaper, and you're too busy trying to get this res off when... Try and, like, think, like, where the res is, because this soldier can easily just respawn back in a second. Like, this is very, very risky and an unnecessary res. You should have basically just gone, helped your team out, and wait for the respawn, because he gets respawned really, really quickly. Because now you put yourself in a really bad position. And I think, personally, this is a bit of a bad Valk. You should just go back to spawn. Go back to spawn. Yeah, there we go. So there, like, the Valk, especially if, like, a lot of people get frozen and there's quite a lot of the team that can follow up on, like, a blizzard, it's very rare people are gonna, like, live a blizzard. So don't, like, try to. Make sure you get that damage boost on again. It's the same thing where it's like, it seems like the be-all and end-all is on your pocket target, and it's like you're being told by this person on like Reaper and stuff, this is the only person you can damage this. You can't do anything else. When in reality, you should be looking at the rest of your team and everything, because you probably could have helped save your Archer there. I like this though, like helping him. I don't think you can get that res off, unless if like you asked your Kiriko for a Suzu. Damage boost! No! Okay, you should have damage boosted that entire ult there, because he was full health, and also Reaper, so if people don't know, when Reaper shoots anyone, obviously he gets a health steal, but if you damage boost them while they're doing the shooting, then they get extra health back, they get more health regen basically. It's a really good thing for if Reapers are like, only like a little bit critical, they could just stick a damage boost on them anyways, and they regen the health quite quickly anyways. So it's a good thing, because that also works in Blossom as well. So there is basically like, unless if he's like extreme, like he's like got like a tiniest of health bar left, there is no need for you to heal during like Death Blossom. I like the little flick on at the end though. That was a very unnecessary super jump. You could just like have stayed where you were or like hugged the wall. It's okay. And then I'm guessing you won. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna say some really, really good points. Okay, I love that you're damage boosting, and I love that you know who your main blue beam target is. Okay, those are actually some of the hardest things to kind of tell to people that are lower ranks or have only picked up Mercy for the first time. So already, like, those two main things, perfect, you're doing brilliantly. Things that I think that you're struggling with, I think this is kind of like a minor thing, but I think your decision making and kind of like your thinking just seems a bit like slow, if you get me, where it's like, whether it be your movements or like putting like blue beams on people and stuff like that, because you're doing it and you're positioning really well, especially when it's out of team fights and out of stressful like scenarios. You're positioning beautifully, like you're positioning and you're GAing to the correct spots and you're like going to the right place and everything. Like you obviously understand how Mercy is meant to be played in that aspect. The issue that I think is biggest is you're not helping your team, because you came to me being like, oh, I can't keep up with my pocket targets. You kept up with your pocket target beautifully throughout that entire thing. In fact, your whole entire focus was on that. So instead, draw some of that focus away, especially if they're safe and not really shooting at anyone, and there's someone critical on your team, then go and help them out. Go and, you know, make sure that you're looking at your team, you know, be constantly like flicking back from your, in fact, let me quickly demonstrate what I mean. Where it's like you're constantly, you know, you're gonna flick back onto your team and look, and then, you know. So if I come over here. Okay, so say this is the person I'm pocketing, and this is my team, right? If I'm pocketing someone, I'm gonna be looking here, but also quickly like look here, topping them up if needed. But I'm gonna obviously, you know, still want to like look back at my team, quickly come back, help them out, you know, do all this body, come back over here. Because for you, it was very much the fact that you weren't doing that. Like your whole entire focus was like this, and then, oh, where's all my team gone? You know, it was like, you know. So I think my kind of 2 takeaways for you is kind of, I think you need to be a little bit quicker with your thinking and a little bit quicker in your, what you should be doing as Mercy. Like, I want to, where it's like, if you know where someone's going to be attacking from, then you should try and like prepare yourself. Like, for example, say this is like a point. So say for instance, Charlie Pickett. Say like the point is like here, right? They want to try and get here, and their spawn is like here, right? And your team are holding like here. You don't want to be stood like here, do you not? You want to be stood in here, and say like your team's here, you'd be beaming them like here, right? And you'll be using this thing, and then once it starts pushing a little bit forward, you know, you just come in, GA, away like this, and then you want to play this corner here, you know? So I think you really understand that, and I could see that in your play. Like, you know what you want to do. It's just, it's a little bit, it's still developing, and I think it might be you're either like new at the game still, or you're still like learning Mercy. Or it's like master, if you get me. And then my second thing is literally you just need to focus on like, this is such a weird thing to say to a Mercy player, but you need to focus your team more, because your whole entire focus is just this, like woohoo, and then obviously you were healing. Try and stick the damage boost on more, like a try and stick the damage boost beam on a little bit more if you can. But apart from that, like it's just your I'm gonna say awareness in like a generic like whole form, where it's like you're not aware sometimes of like where the enemies are and stuff like that. Like, you have to remember, this person that you're blue beaming isn't like your be all and end all. If they die, who cares? Go and find someone else to damage boost. Like, it's, you know, it's not like a relationship where it's like, oh, like I have to stay loyal and I must only blue beam this person, you know? Like this, you know? But yeah, but overall, it was actually, to say that it was a silver, because your understanding of the game and the understanding of like positioning and also like who you should be like beaming, like, well, obviously your main blue beam is really, really good. I think what you need to work on is kind of looking at your team, and obviously kind of thinking a little bit more ahead, or trying to be a bit more aware of like where you're positioning, and also whether you should be on a damage boost beam or not. But hopefully that's helped. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it helps kind of, you know, help you out. I don't really know what else to say. I hope you took some stuff from it. If you guys want your own VOD reviews doing, be sure to check out my Twitch. And I believe at the moment it's like 5,000 channel points. If you earn 5,000 of them, then you can send me a code, and I will basically do the exact same thing, although I'll do it live on stream. And also, if you guys are okay with it, I'll obviously upload it to YouTube as well, so you guys can watch. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!